Does your HR hotel, what kind of responsibilities does it come when to hiring and firing?
Our managers do our hiring and firing whenever they see fit. We don't, our HR department's in corporate, but like for our particular hotel, it's just either a property service manager or a GM, and they are the ones who would decide to hire or fire somebody. And then they'll take it from there. How they decide is if somebody's not doing their job and they've been getting complaints from other employees, from guests, then they'll look into possibly firing them. And then to hire somebody, they always talk to us who work at either the front desk or the conference or in housekeeping and see if we're not doing our job, and if another person would help, then they'll look into possibly hiring somebody for that position.
And like what kind of stuff does your manager do, like to pre-screen for applicants?
Everybody fills out an application, and then everybody gets a background check, and then they'll go through a couple rounds of interviewing. If it's housekeeping, they'll usually go through a housekeeping executive, and then finally everybody has to go through the GM, and he has to approve everybody first. People get recommended. Department heads for housekeeping, front desk, and conference will recommend somebody to the GM, but the GM, he will actually hire them if they want to be hired. And they can only do recommendations to him, and then everybody gets interviewed by him, and to get approved and hired, he has to do it.
And then, what is one way your hotel like rewards you as employees, like when you're doing a good job?
Yeah, we have a particular program where we get moose bucks, what we call moose bucks. They're like paper money that we can use to spend or redeem for certain things like gift cards to certain places in town or things like that. If we get like a good compliment, or if the manager sees us doing something that goes beyond something that we're supposed to be doing, then we get rewarded by that. And so that's something that we can always look forward to earn, and then we can turn that into actual like gift cards to local area businesses.
And as long as everyone's working good, what kind of training programs do you guys have in place?
Training wise, like when I got hired, I got trained in housekeeping. Like I ran around housekeeping for a couple days. I ran around conference for a couple days, and then I got trained on the desk. And so that when somebody gets hired, they want them trained, like if it's front desk or conference, they'll run around housekeeping so they know how to do that. And then they run around the front desk for a bit, and so they understand how the whole system works in case we need somebody in a pinch.
And since you've been working, has there been like days where like the hotel's taking time to retrain people?
Yes.
You guys have done that?
Yeah, anytime we get a new program installed, like a rewards program for our guests, we get retrained on that.
Retrain, all right. And last thing, how do you, how does your HR contribute to guests and revenue goals?
Well, they always look into if we have the right person for the job. If the front desk is very kind and courteous and big smile on the faces when they would check in, compared to being rude and inconsiderate, people won't come back. And so they have to take that in consideration, and they've realized that the front desk person is not doing their job well enough, then I gotta fire them, because that's hurting their image as a company, and that front desk is putting on a negative image towards them. And as we all know, bad news travels quicker than good news. So they have to look into that. If it's not a good fit for the company, then they'll have to take that in consideration.
And lastly, how do they provide legal protection for your employees?
Legal protection. They always look out for our rights, and they know what we have to do, like certain state laws and things like that. And then, of course, any privacy issues, things like that. They keep everything. Whenever somebody calls here to me and they say they're talking about somebody else, I have to transfer them up to corporate, because there is somebody, a human resources director, who knows the laws and knows the privacy laws, and they know what they can and cannot say. And so that's who we transfer any questions or things like that to them, and they protect us that way.
All right, thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.